The discovery of the Tomb of Tutankhamun, also known as King Tut, in 1922 is considered one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. The tomb, located in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt, was discovered by British archaeologist Howard Carter and his team. Tutankhamun was a pharaoh of the 18th dynasty during the New Kingdom period of ancient Egypt, who ruled from 1332 to 1323 BCE. He is particularly known for his intact tomb, which was found filled with a wealth of artifacts and treasures. The tomb had remained undisturbed for over 3,000 years, making the discovery even more remarkable. The tomb was filled with a variety of objects including golden masks, jewelry, statues, weapons, and chariots. The most famous of these is the golden mask of Tutankhamun, which was placed over the mummy's face and is now considered one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt. The tomb also held several coffins, one nested inside the other, with the innermost being made of solid gold. The discovery of the Tomb of Tutankhamun not only provided valuable insights into the lives of the ancient Egyptians, but it also sparked a renewed interest in Egyptology and archaeology. The tomb's artifacts are now housed in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, where they continue to be studied and admired by visitors from around the world. The Rosetta Stone is one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of all time. Discovered in 1799 by French soldiers in the Egyptian town of Rosetta, the stone is a fragment of a larger stele that was created in 196 BCE during the reign of Ptolemy V. The stone is made of black granite iorite, and it bears inscriptions in three scripts: hieroglyphic, Demotic, and Greek. The inscriptions are a decree from the priests of Egypt, which affirms the royal cult of the 13-year-old Ptolemy V, and the gifts and honors that the temples of Egypt bestowed on him. The significance of the Rosetta Stone lies in the fact that it provided the key to understanding hieroglyphs, the script of ancient Egypt, which had been a mystery for centuries. Prior to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, hieroglyphs were thought to be purely symbolic and not a form of writing. The Greek inscription on the stone provided a clue as to the meaning of the hieroglyphic inscriptions, and it was used as a reference by scholars to eventually decipher the hieroglyphs. The Rosetta Stone was soon after discovered by British soldiers during the French campaign in Egypt, and it was taken to London in 1802. It has been on display at the British Museum since 1802, and it remains one of the most visited artifacts in the museum. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone was a major step forward in the field of Egyptology, and its inscription was a major factor in understanding the ancient Egyptian civilization. The stone also played a crucial role in the understanding of other ancient cultures, as many inscriptions in other ancient cultures were deciphered using the same method that was used to decipher the hieroglyphs on the Rosetta Stone. The Terracotta Army is a collection of terracotta sculptures depicting the armies of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, who ruled from 221 to 210 BCE. The sculptures were discovered in 1974 by a group of Chinese farmers near the city of Shen in the Shanxi province of China. The Terracotta Army is believed to have been created as part of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb complex, and it is thought to have been buried with the emperor to protect him in the afterlife. The army consists of over 8,000 individual soldiers, 130 chariots with 520 horses and 150 cavalry horses, and dozens of officials and musicians. Each soldier is unique, with different facial expressions, hairstyles, and clothing, making them appear as if they were a real army. The Dead Sea Scrolls are a collection of Jewish texts that were discovered in the 1940s in the vicinity of the Dead Sea in Israel. The scrolls include texts from the Hebrew Bible, as well as other Jewish texts such as apocryphal works, sectarian documents, and commentaries. The texts are written in Hebrew, with some parts in Aramaic, and they date back to between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE. The scrolls were discovered in a series of caves by a Bedouin shepherd, and they were later purchased by various antiquities dealers and institutions. The scrolls have been the subject of much scholarly study and debate, and they have provided valuable insights into the history and culture of ancient Judaism. The scrolls are significant for several reasons. Firstly, they are the oldest surviving copies of the Hebrew Bible, predating the oldest previously known copies by over 1,000 years. This has allowed scholars to study the texts in their original form and to understand how they were transmitted and translated over time. Machu Picchu is a 15th century Inca citadel located in the Cusco region of Peru. The site was rediscovered in 1911 by the American historian Hiram Bingham, who was led to the site by local farmers. The site had been abandoned for centuries, and it was overgrown with vegetation, making it difficult to spot. The Palace of Knossos is an ancient Minoan palace located on the island of Crete in Greece. The palace is believed to have been the center of Minoan civilization, which existed on Crete from around 2000 to 1400 BCE. The palace was discovered in 1900 by the British archaeologist Sir Arthur Evans, who began excavations at the site and reconstructed parts of the palace. The Lascaux cave paintings are a collection of prehistoric cave paintings and engravings located in the Dordogne region of France. The paintings were discovered in 1940 by a group of teenagers who stumbled upon the cave while exploring the area. The cave is believed to have been used by the Cro-Magnon people, who lived in the area between 30,000 and 10,000 BCE. The Nazca lines are a series of ancient geoglyphs located in the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. The lines were created by removing the top layer of reddish-brown pebbles to reveal the whitish-gray ground beneath. They depict various figures such as animals, plants, and human-like figures. The figures are huge, some over 200 meters long, and can only be fully appreciated from the air, which means they were probably made and used by ancient people who had the capability of aerial surveillance. The Great Wall of China is a series of fortifications made of stone, brick, tamped earth, wood, and other materials, generally built along an east-to-west line across the historical northern borders of China to protect the Chinese states and empires against the raids and invasions of the various nomadic groups of the Eurasian steppe. The wall is the longest structure ever built, stretching over 13,000 miles and is considered one of the greatest engineering feats in history. The Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater, is an ancient Roman amphitheater located in the center of Rome, Italy. It is considered one of the greatest architectural and engineering feats of ancient Rome. The Colosseum was built between 70 to 80 AD under the reign of Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty, and it was completed under the rule of his son Titus. The pyramids of Giza, located on the outskirts of Cairo, Egypt, are some of the most iconic and recognizable structures in the world. They are also considered one of the greatest architectural and engineering feats of ancient times. The pyramids were built during the Old Kingdom period of ancient Egypt, with the Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu, being the oldest and largest of the three pyramids at the site.